Good day. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this Thursday, a very foggy one this morning across the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metro area. And the fog is going to be lifting, some showers and even a band of heavier rain this afternoon across Long Island and interior Connecticut. And then breezy conditions, much colder and windy tomorrow on Friday, setting up for a generally moderating weekend with generally fair weather. This is the daily video forecast discussion for Thursday, the 10th of November 2011, and it's also the 36th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald. And another little busy morning here in the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia, Delmarva region. We've got small craft advisories in effect for this afternoon through tomorrow. And these will mean increasing seas and increasing winds, shifting to the northwest and increasing to gale force or small craft advisory force, especially during tonight and tomorrow as the cold front makes its way through and the pressure gradient begins to tighten up. Also, we have swells from ongoing moisture influxing and coming in from subtropical storm or tropical storm Sean, well to our south, and we're already seeing some of the rain from this now. Model trends have been to get the western edge of this along the coast, but it appears as though most of this rain may just brush the coastal areas and get into Connecticut and parts of Massachusetts, and this is where an area of focally heavier rain will fall later this afternoon and tonight as this gets entrained with a cold front, and the showers along this cold front appear to be weakening this morning. But we could still see a strengthening of this afternoon and this evening area-wide. Less than a quarter of an inch just about everywhere, maybe an inch or locally higher up here in interior Connecticut and up towards Massachusetts. That would be for later this afternoon and tonight. But this morning, temperatures and dew points are supporting quite a lot of fog around the region. The fog started early last evening and then really started banging in along the coast and interior sections all the way from the Delmarva. And these grayer boxes here are these fog advisories. They're going to expire around 9 o'clock as more mixing gets involved, and that will thin out that layer. But until that time, driving this morning's commute will be a little rough. Temperatures and dew points just about uniform, both around 50 to 55 degrees this morning. Water vapor imagery this morning shows that the cold front is kind of weakening as it's moving through. It's not that the air behind it is all that cold, but the idea here is that the moisture, we don't see a lot of high cloud tops here. So even on the radar, some of the showers on the northern extent of this are being removed, outrunning its source of moisture here. So we may get a few showers, or it may just looks like it's kind of falling apart as it reaches into the mountains in eastern Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, we have higher cloud tops here, and this is indicative of some of the rain showers that are falling well out ahead of Tropical Storm Sean as some of this moisture gets pulled north into the North Atlantic, but staying away from our immediate forecast area. But however, Connecticut and interior Massachusetts and Rhode Island, that could be getting in on some of that rain later this afternoon and tonight. A better view shows a slinking, falling apart line of basically lighter showers here across central Pennsylvania into central New York, kind of falling apart as this low lifts to the northeast and drags this cold front through the area. So we're going to have a wind shift this morning. And here's the moisture that the models were progging. Now this area here and the cold front will probably combine to give this area away from our area into southern New England the rain this afternoon and tonight. Surface chart this morning shows our weakening cold front here. Most of the energy associated with this is the upper low, which is completely closed off heading towards Hudson's Bay, Canada. So it's kind of really running out of its moisture source here along the eastern seaboard. And a lot of that is being robbed by Tropical Storm Sean here out in the southeastern Atlantic with a trough, an extended inverted trough extending just along the coastline. That's where some of the rain here is and moisture source is going to get pulled. So kind of squeeze play between the two systems. As the cold front comes through during this afternoon, the winds are going to shift, and the rain will probably be falling in areas east of our area, and we could still see a shower or even a snow flurry in the higher elevations. No accumulation, however, across northeastern Pennsylvania and New York, northwest Jersey and upstate New York late this afternoon and this evening, but the boundary layers are probably just a bit too warm. Any fog that was in the area this morning will burn off as the cold front comes through and better mixing gets down to near the surface. Comes a little bit of moisture along the front this afternoon at 8 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Front passes through. Winds already shifting around. Here's our low deepening up towards Hudson's Bay, Canada. And off the charts here is Tropical Storm Sean. Still heading out over the ocean, still an inverted trough here along the coast. So this could be where the shower activity and rain activity occurs, especially out on the eastern end of Long Island, the southern tip of Massachusetts and Provincetown, and those areas there getting in on the rain. It's a large area of high pressure building in across the central portions of the nation. And guess what, folks? That's heading in our direction, so that's good news. Wind gusts will probably be a little stronger tomorrow morning as cold air advection gets going. Temperatures about in the 50s tomorrow. They'll probably only make it again into the low and mid 60s today, but 10 degrees chillier tomorrow with a brisk wind, even possibly some small craft and gale watch warnings rather along the immediate coast as that cold air advection runs over the top of very relatively mild ocean temperatures in the mid and upper 50s just south and east of New Jersey and the New York City coastline. Here's our high pressure. It's going to be building in across the forecast area through Friday. Upper trough, though, still has to cross the region on Friday, and as this pool of colder air moves over the relatively warmer waters, we could still see chillier conditions and breezy northwest winds tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud, and then becoming partly cloudy to clear Friday night through the weekend. And that's good news because it is the weekend. Here's high pressure, a west wind abating across the region. High pressure centered over the southern states. And our next front and cold front will come with an upper low and a system coming in probably for later Monday night and Tuesday. And another period of above normal weather coming up for next week. According to the temperature and precipitation forecast from the Climate Prediction Center, big storm over the Alaska Aleutian Islands, going to be dropping down. Some snow here in the northern plains, the upper Midwest rather, all the way to the west coast. Is very stormy, below average heights, and very cold here. Means a ridge of high pressure building in from the central United States east. And that's going to mean another return to generally fair and seasonably above average temperatures across the region. GFS forecast now and models to show all this cold air developing under this deep upper low and trough developing across the eastern United States in the short term, and that's going to bring a lot more wind and chillier air into the forecast area. Probably during tonight and especially during the day on Friday and Friday night. The winds could be quite gusty up along the coast, as I mentioned. Putting this into motion, we can see that the inverted trough develops low pressure south and east of Cape Cod and southern Maine, and that moves out. But here's the deep cold air still across the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley, and that's going to mean some chilly air for Friday. Here is what is left of Tropical Storm Sean, continuing well out over the ocean. Strong high pressure building in across the southern plains. And this is for the day on Friday. Getting into the day on Friday, winds abate. The winds shift more to a zonal flow. The heights rise a little bit. The thicknesses do too. So that means warmer air is on the way for the weekend. Generally a west flow. High pressure across the southeast and mid-Atlantic states continues. All that energy coming into the west coast means basically going to have another cold front, a weakening one, coming through, another upper low here across southeastern Canada. This would be for during the day on Sunday, but high pressure still in control. Front probably doesn't get through here until, according to the GFS, which could be a little faster than some of the other models. This would be for Monday afternoon, so there still is a chance for some showers, rain showers across the region on Monday afternoon if this model is correct. Some moisture getting pooled here across the southern plains into the front itself, and then the front kind of stalling out a little bit according to the model here. This is this morning's run, some areas of rain along the front. That could be during the day on Tuesday, probably not as widespread as what the model's showing here. And then, of course, that front stalls moves off the coast, and here comes a deeper low, developing warmer air also across the southern plains and into eastern Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and that begins to pull up in our direction. According to the model here on Wednesday, we have low pressure to our west and rain chances increasing here. This would be for Wednesday morning, and that quickly moves away. No real cold air yet, still back towards the west with the upper trough, and then that begins to swing through with clearing skies. It's still generally fair. I think this model might be a little cooler on the northern fringe than the southern fringe of the forecast area, and we're just going to have to watch this. But we can see the evolution here in the pattern. What the model wants to do is kind of different than what the actual Climate Prediction Center is forecasting for heights and temperatures across the eastern United States next week. This model would like to take the trough deepening across the Central Plains and the European model probably to some extent too, but then lift it back north as high pressure is generally in control of our weather with near seasonable temperatures. Then, of course, the model becomes truncated, so we're not going to use it past probably about 200 hours here. So that's going to do it for today's broadcast. Be careful of that fog out there, especially over across central, southern Philadelphia areas and southern New Jersey and the Delmarva this morning. And maybe some rain across the region, shower or so this afternoon and this evening, and then a strong wind and colder air coming in for Friday and Friday night. Pleasant but moderating temperatures over the weekend in the 50s and low 60s, and then the chance of showers or even rain could be in the offing again by Monday afternoon or Monday evening. Make it a good Thursday. Don't forget to check out all the details on GardenStateWeather.com for all your latest weather information. Today, again, is the 36th anniversary of the mega fury storm that occurred that took down the SS Edmunds Fitzgerald in the Great Lakes on back on this date, back in 1975. And that's quite a historic event, and you can check that out on Wikipedia and some of the links also on our website. For GardenStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll talk to you again bright and early on Friday morning.